Here we talk about cutting-edge analytics and one of its premier examples, IBM Watson. What is IBM Watson? Is it a supercomputer? Is it out of this world implementation of analytics? It could be. Watson basically is the successor of other smart programs IBM has previously developed. For those of you who are into analytics and likes to play chess, might remember Deep Blue, one of the computer programs that played chess against the grandmaster of chess, Garry Kasparov. And in the second game, it beat the grandmaster in a 6-game series. If you don't know the score, it was 2-1. 2 games for Deep Blue, 1 game for Garry Kasparov, and 3 games were tie. If you go to this link, you would see that there was a 2-game series. The first game was won by the human, the guru of chess. The score was 4-2, and the second game was won by Deep Blue, 3.5 to 2.5. Now, that was probably the first time a computer beat the best of the best in a specific intelligent area of human beings. And it has been 10-15 years since then, and IBM has been working on another system, IBM Watson, and then wanted to have the system compete on a game that is created for human creativity, human intelligence, and it has a lot of imperfections. Comparing Jeopardy to chess, Jeopardy has a lot of undefined structure built into it. You don't know which category will show up. You don't know what the sentence is going to be. It could be a direct code. It could be an implied thing. So there was a lot of imperfections that human brain creatively can sort out. And now IBM Watson, a computer program, has to be intelligent enough to understand and react to those imperfections built into human language. So they set up the game, and they had IBM Watson compete against the best of the best in Jeopardy. 2 names comes to mind, Ken Jennings and Brett Rutter. One, largest money winner. Second one, largest sequential winner at Jeopardy. Let's click on this link and get a sense what Watson is and how it's built and how it was launched on Jeopardy.
All right, everyone, here's today's final Jeopardy clue. IBM is developing a computer system personified by this name to compete on Jeopardy. Elementary? I think not. It's a very difficult task. But the correct response, in a sense, is elementary.
What is Watson?
Only IBM can bring together the skills and the investment capability to take on a grand challenge of this size.
Watson is a computer system that we've been putting together that is going to advance the state of the art in automatic question answering.
It requires critical thinking. It requires a whole lot more than knowledge alone. So when people hear about this project and they say, well, isn't this just sort of Google on steroids? No, it is not.
It's always been a challenge to create computers that can actually communicate with and operate at anything like the level of a human mind.
Under the hood in Watson is a natural language processing technology that's going to help advance the field. And Jeopardy is a great showcase for that kind of technology, because what Jeopardy requires is that the computer competes with some of the best humans in the world, minds that can very rapidly access a huge breadth of knowledge, deliver precise answers, upwards of 85 or 90% precision, and deliver that with really great confidence.
It will represent an entirely new level of communication between computers and human beings.
The challenge it presents to Watson is to really drive the underlying technology to new heights in precision, accuracy, confidence, and speed.
I think Jeopardy is really the gold standard for IBM to use to test this kind of computer system.
It's going to have to know what it knows. It's going to have to very rapidly compute a confidence that it's correct so that it buzzes in time and can get the questions it believes it knows.
Our entire creative team producers, writers, researchers are really excited with the challenge of writing material for this project.
What we're doing is creating here a system that will be able to be applied to all sorts of applications in the world and essentially cut the time to find answers to very difficult problems.
It's a big challenge for IBM, but I have a feeling they're up to the task.
That was an interesting video. It's on YouTube, and you can go search on YouTube for IBM Watson and Jeopardy keywords, and then you will see a lot of videos similar to that. If you have never seen it, I recommend you to watch a few of those to see how a machine can compete successfully against the best of the best in man, where the game is actually created for human intelligence, which has a lot of imperfections and fuzziness built into it. Now, as you will see in those videos, IBM Watson was the winner at the end of the series of competition, but it was not dominating early in the beginning because of, again, the imperfections built into the human language. And just to give you a little bit of technicality, which you're going to get from the videos if you watch the videos, the computer, IBM Watson, was not connected to internet at the time of the game, and everything, including pushing the button to actually answer it, is simulated in such a way that it's a fair game between the machine and the human beings. And because human brain is so magnificent, the competitors were faster in the way that they processed the information and pushed the button and answer the question than IBM Watson was in quite a few questions. But especially for the questions that are short in length, without enough content, IBM Watson produced results that were way off target, results that even a 5-year-old kid would not have come up with because they were just not even close. But the ones that had enough content, IBM Watson dominated the best of the best in Jeopardy. So how does it do it? Technically speaking, it starts with the question, human language. IBM Watson takes the question, natural language processing, right, converting it into its own representation, composing it into a query, and pushing it into a parallel process where it generates hypotheses, tens and thousands of hypotheses as to what the answer, or in the context of Jeopardy, the question is to the given answer. And while doing that, it uses a lot of resources in the sense that hundreds of millions of documents, dictionaries, internet sources are all cached into IBM Watson memory. And the memory is not really solid state or hard drive. It's all in memory. It's all in RAM. So huge RAM is what IBM Watson had. Even that may not have been enough to process the information in due time, because all you have is about 2 to 3 seconds to push the button to answer the question. So they did a lot of creative indexing, grouping, clustering of the information so search would be optimized at the level of generating results within 1, 2, or 3 seconds. So the hypotheses are generated. Going through the filtration, information collection, each of the hypotheses will collect due evidence from the documents, and those evidences are going to be aggregated on a hypothesis by hypothesis level. Then the results are going to be synthesized, and the hypothesis that has the best support evidence will be at the top of the list. And if that exceeds a certain threshold of confidence, the button will be pushed and the answer will be provided by IBM Watson. That's how they designed it at a very high level. So we don't know exactly how it does what it does because it's a trade secret. IBM Watson is a for-profit company. But this is the high-level depiction of how they told the rest of the world IBM Watson is working in actually generating those answers and being as competitive and superior at a game like Jeopardy as it has been. So what is IBM Watson? It is a combination of advanced analytics at its best, combined with the supercomputers, supercomputers, if you will, everything in memory, a lot of processors. The speed is the essence in this particular setting because you only have just a few seconds to crunch through collection of information to see if you have the answer, and if you do, provide the right answer to the game. So why did they do that? Because they probably spent tens of millions of dollars on this system. Actually, it was so big that they couldn't carry the computer to Jeopardy. They actually carried Jeopardy setting, the set, the studio to IBM Watson to actually do this competition. So even that by itself was a costly endeavor on their part to set it up. So why did they do it? Well, just to showcase that what they can do with analytics in the day of big data. Exactly, the big data is what is feeding into Jeopardy. Any question from any topic can show up, and you have to crunch the information and provide the best answer in a very short time. And they wanted to showcase that they can actually take IBM Watson and then leverage it into different industries where there is a lot of content and there is a lot of need for actionable insight, one of which would be healthcare. Think about Watson helping a doctor to diagnose and treat a patient. Think about how accurate, how timely, how efficient that process would be. If they're providing answers to Jeopardy questions in 2 seconds, cashing in all the medical and healthcare related knowledge, information, rules, business rules, best practices into its knowledge base will give Watson the means to actually help doctors as well as healthcare managers to efficiently and effectively manage the system. And that was the first area where IBM Watson, nowadays it's called cognitive computing, kind of resembling to how human brain process information to generate solutions to complex situations in healthcare. Then they're leveraging IBM Watson into finance, the energy, manufacturing, retail, as well as in homeland security. And they also generated a system called Watson Analytics, and it's free for public. There is a limited storage space allocated for the free version of it, but it has all the capabilities that IBM Watson had fundamentally, if you will. And then you can upload your own data, and then it looks at the data, it looks at the variable names, and then it creates hypotheses for you. As opposed to you asking a question, it comes up with potential questions that you would be interested in system answering for you. And then you click on it and crunches the numbers, creates the models, and generates the results and provides them to you. It's a beautiful system to try it out to see where analytics is heading towards, especially in a cloud computing environment where you don't have to install anything on your own computer. Everything takes place on the cloud, where there is tremendous amount of memory and processing power.